Someone leans in close, drops their voice, and says, "Did you hear what happened to?" And just like that, your whole body switches on, ears sharpen, shoulders turn in. Some part of you needs to hear the rest of that sentence before you've even decided to care. That reaction isn't weakness, and it didn't come from social media or reality TV. It's thousands of years old, and it's still sitting inside almost every person alive today. Picture an evening a very long time ago. A small group around a fire, 20 people, maybe 30. That fire is the entire world they'll ever know. No news, no phone, no way to find out what's happening one valley over. Whatever you know about the world, you know because someone told you. So people talked, who shared food fairly, who broke a promise, who protected the group when it mattered, and who quietly didn't. In many foraging societies, anthropologists have studied, this wasn't idle chatter. It was how the group tracked who could be trusted, passed mouth to mouth night after night. Nobody needed to write any of it down. By the next season, everyone in that circle already knew who to lean on and who to watch. Take one story making its way around that fire, a hunter who held back extra meat for himself during a lean season. That story wasn't just entertainment. By morning, it decided whether he'd be trusted on the next hunt, whether anyone would share with him when he came up empty. Long before courts or written law, gossip was already deciding consequences. Here's the part easy to miss. Gossip wasn't a flaw in human nature. It was infrastructure, a way to track reputation across a group too large for any one person to watch everyone at once, rewarding people who cooperated and quietly cutting off the ones who didn't. Now picture a modern office kitchen, a comment section, a group chat lighting up at midnight. The scenery changed completely. The instinct underneath it didn't move an inch. Your brain still treats a story about someone else's mistake as more urgent than almost anything else in the room. More urgent than the weather, more urgent than most actual news. People spend an enormous chunk of daily conversation talking about other people, not events, not ideas. And that hasn't really shifted much across culture or century. Put a group of strangers in a quiet room, and the fastest thing to fill the silence is almost always the same. Talking about someone who isn't there to hear it. Here's where it gets interesting, though. Ancient gossip had walls around it. It lived inside a small group of faces you'd see again tomorrow. Say something false, and the truth caught up fast, because everyone lived close enough to check it themselves. Modern gossip has no walls left. A rumor doesn't stay inside one tribe anymore. It can cross a continent in an hour, aimed at a total stranger who will never sit across the fire from anyone repeating it. The same wiring that once protected 30 people is now running loose across networks the size of countries, with none of the old built-in checks. Think about a single post at midnight, screenshotted, forwarded, judged, before the person it's about has even woken up to explain themselves. The tribe watching isn't 20 familiar faces anymore. It's thousands of strangers who will never meet the person they're deciding things about, and never have to face being wrong. It would be easy to say the old world was simply more honest. That's not quite true either. A small group could be just as cruel, maybe crueler, since there was nowhere else to go if the fire turned on you. Modern life, loud as it is, also gave people something ancient humans never had. The ability to leave one group, find another, and start a reputation over somewhere new. So the pull to lean in and ask, "Did you hear?" isn't a character flaw. It's an old survival reflex, still doing its one job, dropped into a world thousands of times bigger than the one it was built for. That instinct was never really about someone else's secret. It was always about one question. Is this person safe to stand next to? The fire is gone. The group isn't 20 familiar faces anymore, but underneath every rumor you've ever repeated or heard, that's still the question running quietly in the background, the same one your ancestors were asking without ever needing to say it out loud. It never really left. It just changed rooms. Next time you feel that pull toward a piece of gossip, notice it for what it actually is. Not a flaw, just an old tool still doing its job in a world it was never built to handle.